Good afternoon, everybody. My name is Donna Thiesel, and I'm your host of Donna's Edge Talk Show, where truth matters. Thank you so much for watching every day, Monday through Friday, beginning at 1 p.m., and that's Central Time. So we get right home with you in the afternoon. It's always a whole lot of fun. We've got wonderful guests. We are celebrating 20 years of being on the air, and I can't believe it. And it's been such a fun 20 years, and it has just went by just like that because we've had so much fun. You guys have made all of this happen. So you watching the show, we always tell everybody we've got the best audience. I always tell people we also have the best specials, and also we have the best guests. And our sponsors are absolutely phenomenal. You can watch us on television, syndicated on Abundant Television, found on Roku, Apple TV, and Amazon Fire. And don't forget the podcast on thenewscasters.com. All of the social media sites, you can find us there as well. So you can watch anytime that you want to. We have very special guest with us who's a big, huge part of this program. His name is AP Steadham. He's our sports guy. AP, As We See It, is his podcast. And he's syndicated all over the place, too. Tell us about that. And then we got to dive in about basketball.
Yeah, Donna, thank you so much. Good morning, good afternoon, good morning. Pleasure to be here as always. You know, we're on about 25 stations or so, heard in Alabama, Florida, Georgia, Mississippi, Tennessee, and then we're on the YouTube. We videotape every episode now. It's AP As We See It on that channel. We also have videos from all the interviews we do on that channel, plus on my personal channel at AP Steadham. So here we are in San Antonio at the Final Four, men's Final Four, where we saw Florida win their third national championship representing the SEC. But yeah, you can check us on our Facebook pages, our Instagram, our X accounts, personal as well as the shows. So check that out and subscribe to everything that we do so you can keep up. But Don, it was a fantastic game. There was three great games over the weekend. Auburn and Florida, the first game was close. Houston and Duke was a close battle and terrific finish for Houston in the semifinal, but Florida ends up hoisting the championship trophy by winning 65-63. And Donna, they only led early in the game, and then they didn't lead until I think the last minute, a little bit over a minute. They took the lead and held on for the victory over Houston Cougars, a very good basketball team.
So what was going on there? Was it a little bit of luck, or was it muscle skill?
Well, I think that what happened is Florida had a run at the end around 15-3 to tie it, and Houston just went stone cold, Donna. We always discuss at the end of the game, you've got to make some shots. And Houston was ahead by 12 at one point, and they could not hold on to the lead. Shots weren't falling. Credit Florida's defense, with some of that as well. But Florida made the plays at the end. And defensively, there was 19 seconds remaining. Houston had the ball, down 2 points. They passed the ball around. Manuel Sharp from Tampa, who's one of the very good guards for Houston, he went up into the air to attempt a shot, and Walter Clayton Jr. Looked like he was going to block it, so he released the ball. The player from Houston could not touch it. It would have been double dribble. So 2 or 3 seconds went off, and then the Florida player jumped on the ball, and that was the end of the game. Houston never attempted the shot, unfortunately for them, in the last 19 seconds when they had possession. They'll live with that forever, Don, that they never got the shot off. 19 seconds and you don't end up with a shot. That's a horrendous way to end a game.
How did that happen?
In my opinion, Donna, when you have the ball and you're down by 2 points, I'm not waiting till the last 5 seconds to shoot the ball. If I have 19 seconds, I'm going to tell my 10, look, we want a shot at 10. Mm-hmm. We want a shot at 10 in case we miss. There's a rebound, or we can foul, maybe get another chance, put them on the free throw line. But you're waiting till the end, all these gaps and miscues can happen. Mm-hmm. And so that's what Houston did. They didn't shoot the ball within the first 10 seconds of the possession, and they ended up with no shot because it was a mistake made.
Oh, wow. I mean, I don't know. It just seemed a little odd to me, but hey, sometimes it's just lack of careful planning.
Yeah, I'm not sure, but I think Calvin Sampson, the coach of Houston, he probably told them to shoot the ball between, let's say, 8 and 10 seconds, because when you're down 2, you don't want just one attempt. You want a chance to get the rebound. And that Houston's noted for their offensive rebounding. They had a plus probably 7 or 8 or 10 on the offensive rebounding side during the game. They're very good rebounders. They practice it all the time. Specifically, that's one of their fortes. and they tried to score what's called in the random area of basketball, not running a play. It's you score randomly when the ball is shot. Somebody grabs the ball and then they put it back in. That's a random score. So I felt badly for them. Not that I'm pulling one way or another for them to make it, miss it, but you'd like to see the game end with at least an attempt at the basket. You have possession. 19 seconds. That's a lifetime in basketball, Don. But Florida prevailed. They played good defense, and both teams struggled to score because the two teams are excellent defensively, and they didn't shoot the ball away. They shot around, 38%, both of them, something like that. Didn't shoot well from the three-point line. And then it was a low-scoring game. In the 60s, in this day and age, is fairly low scoring. But Houston, defensively, they did a good job slowing down Walter Clayton Jr. He didn't score until, I think, 15 minutes left in the game, and he had 30-something points the other day. He had 0 points at halftime. Florida's All-American, Walter Clayton Jr., excellent guard, good football player, could have played Division I football, had many scholarship offers. But Houston did a terrific job defensively in slowing him down. But he came alive in the second half, I think, with 11 points or something. And Florida is the champion. This is the third time. They're 3-1 the national championship game. They lost, I think it was in 2000 to Michigan State. They won it back-to-back 2006 and 7. Now they have the third championship. Todd Golden, under 40 years old, young coach. He's already reached the pinnacle in his profession. Let's see what happens down the road. But Florida's got themselves an excellent basketball coach who knows how to win, understands the analytics, can relate to this era of players. And he's playing in the SEC, which was the toughest in the entire United States, the best conference. He won that league tournament. He didn't win the regular season, but he won the league tournament. Now he's won the national championship. So the Florida folks, they must be thrilled.
Yeah, well, they're going to be like over thrilled with that. I mean, that's a good win. Absolutely.
Yeah.
It's a good win, put in your back pocket, put it on your resume. Absolutely. So how are things in San Antonio? Let's get a little bit about the area there as well. Have you been to the Riverwalk yet?
Yeah, Don, I've been to the Riverwalk. Don, it was 90 degrees at one point here. And then all of a sudden it went down to the 40s.
It's almost like Alabama where you only get 2 seasons.
Right.
Hot or cold.
Yeah, we had to rearrange our clothing schedule here. But it was very nice. The Riverwalk and has quite a few nice restaurants and shops, and it's fun. And Don, after the game, believe it or not, it's around midnight. The team was going to be on one of the boat rides coming up the river. All the fans were going to be down there. This is after midnight, after they won the championship. So they were promoting that river walk extensively. So it means to have the team leave the locker room, and it's after midnight, and you're down there on the river on one of the boat rides, so the fans could see the entire team and the coaching staff. That was pretty unique planning.
Yeah, I think so too. And then your adrenaline is probably going. You're probably not ready to go to sleep anyway.
No, they weren't. But not many places where you can have a celebration on the river after the game with the team.
The history of San Antonio is fascinating too. Of course, did you go check out the Alamo?
Which on Sunday I went over to the Alamo. It was closed at that time, but I did take some photos and walked over there and read some of the inscriptions on the wall. So that was fun. You hear about the Alamo your whole life, and then you're right there, and it's not a very big structure. But
that was my first thought. Because I watched the John Wayne movie. Of course, anything in Hollywood is going to be blown up bigger than what it really is anyway. Yeah. And the first time I saw it, it's been 20 years ago, and I was just like, "That's it." I mean, I was expecting much, much bigger, but man, a rich history, very fascinating.
Yeah, it's amazing that the Alamo, the history, and they said you're walking up to the structure, and you're thinking, gee whiz, it's not very big. It's just, I don't think it's, maybe it's the size of a high school gymnasium. Would that be very fairly accurate? I guess, I don't know, something like that. Maybe even small, right? Yeah, it's maybe even small.
Yeah, the statues were nice around there too. But all I could think of was John Wayne, Daniel Boone. I mean, Daniel Boone, made his appearance there.
Davy Crockett. Davy Crockett.
Davy Crockett. That's right.
I know we get them confused because we saw Fess Parker play both parts, right?
Why did he have to play both? See, that
Right. Isn't that amazing? He played both parts. Isn't that something? He's from Texas, played for Tennessee. Daniel Boone was from Kentucky, and Davy Crockett was from Tennessee.
Mm-hmm. And I know it sounds like I'm promoting San Antonio, but I'm going to tell you what, some of the friendliest people on earth live there. I mean, it's just that the people who are from there really do welcome visitors big time.
Very friendly, Donna. Everybody's been so hospitable, and I really have enjoyed my stay here in San Antonio. And the transportation was great. The hotel was great, and the accommodations, and also the structure, the Alamo Dome it was fun to watch a basketball game and be there all week. Of course, it's very big, so you're walking around and trying to find your way every day. But I enjoyed it.
Absolutely. Let's go into a break. We're about a minute early, but we got a lot more to talk about, and I don't want to break you up. So let's go ahead and go to a break. We'll be right back in just a few minutes. Twin City Used Car Sales has been serving drivers in the Northeast Alabama area for years with a quality selection of late model used cars, SUVs, and pickup trucks. On top of our extensive selection and competitive prices, we offer professional auto financing services for used car buyers of all credit levels. Whether you've just begun your search or you're ready to secure your next vehicle, at Twin City Used Car Sales, you will drive away with the vehicle of your dreams. The sales and finance staff at Twin City Used Car Sales looks forward to serving you, and you can apply for financing online before your visit to our used dealership in Gadsden, Alabama. Check us out on the web at twincityusedcars.com or go by our location at 901 First Avenue, Gadsden, Alabama. We sincerely look forward to serving you. At Lamone's Mexican Restaurant, located in Henniger, Alabama, and voted Best Mexican Restaurant of DeKalb County, Alabama 2020, we're here to serve you with authentic Mexican cuisine. Order easily online by going to lamonsmex.com or call 256-657-3999 to place your order. We're open Sunday through Thursday, 11 a.m. to 9 p.m. and Friday and Saturday, 11 a.m. to 10 p.m. Whether you're celebrating a cozy date night for two or a celebration for a crowd, at Lamone's you'll love our atmosphere and friendly servers. Thank you for dining with Lamone's Mexican Restaurant.
Are you ready?
We all wonder what tomorrow will bring. But the future lays itself at the feet of the prepared and surrenders to the will of the persistent. It's not easy, but today shapes you so you can shape tomorrow. With Northeast Alabama Community College, when the future asks if you're ready, you can answer.
Yes.
Begin your future at Northeast Alabama Community College.
At Liberty Bank, we're all about community. Whether it's to help with a charity fundraiser or help families in need, toys at Christmas or a local football team, we're here for you. You see, we realize the importance of family. Sometimes it's to build a new home or necessary home repairs. We're here for you. If you like the feel of a small town bank with all the conveniences of a big city bank, we're here to serve you. You will find us at any of our convenient locations in DeKalb, Marshall, Etowah, and Blount counties in North Alabama. You can call and speak with any of our friendly staff at 256-659-2175 or check us out on the web at libertybankal.com. And thank you for your support of our community. Member FDIC Equal Housing Lender. The only place I buy my beef is Lone Tree Ranch in Collinsville, Alabama. Their cattle is born and raised on their ranch, grass and grain fed, and you can feel confident when you serve your family and friends because their beef is all natural and no antibiotics or hormones are added. You can buy whole beef or perhaps go in with family or friends and buy half. Their customer service is number one as they take care of the delivery to their local processor and can deliver to your home for a small added fee. They also offer herd replacement heifers. I always call Lone Tree Ranch in Collinsville, Alabama for my beef specialty recipes and cookouts, and you can too. Food shortages are increasing, so buy local by calling 256-523-6462. That's 256-523-6462. Good afternoon. We're back. My name is Donna, and I am your host of Donna's Edge Talk Show where truth matters. I am with AP Steadham, AP as we see it. And so what's going on with AP as we see it? And then let's get back into basketball again.
Yeah, Donna, we're gonna wrap up the basketball season because it was such a stellar year for the Southeastern Conference on the men's side, and they really were the cream of the crop in the whole United States this year. Their conference, 14 teams, 7 teams in the Sweet 16, 14 teams in the tournament. They had 2 teams in the Final Four. They had to play against each other. Unfortunately, Auburn came up short over the weekend on Saturday. Janiah Broome, they shut down Auburn's star in the second half. He had maybe 11, 12 points in the first half. They ended up with 15 total. So they were really able to lock him down in Florida in the second half and win that ball game by a handful of points. So, but Florida made it to the championship, represented the SEC, won another title. So things worked out for the Southeastern Conference by being crowned the king of men's college basketball. But Auburn had
you can almost say 4 teams were winners this year. I mean, it was phenomenal. I mean, they were really, really close. I mean, any of those could have won.
Oh,
it was hard to pick.
Yeah, all number 1 seeds. Houston, an excellent team. Duke, very good. Auburn, Florida. Yeah, 4 number 1 teams, Donna. And I was happy that the 3 games were all close and exciting. Ultra competitive. So we didn't have any blowouts. When you look at the women's side, we see South Carolina, Texas. South Carolina beat Texas semifinal. UConn beat UCLA in the semifinal. That was UConn, South Carolina on the women's side. Once again, UConn prevailed by nearly 30 points. I guess it was 30. I don't remember the exact score, but they beat South Carolina. It was surprising that Connecticut was able to beat South Carolina women twice this season by about 30 points. And that one of the games was at home, and the other one, of course, was in the championship game in Tampa. So I think Dawn Staley, was very disappointing for her to have a team reach the Final Four, and then you're playing a team for the second time, and then he beat you by 30 again. I have to believe as a competitor, she was not happy. It's one thing to lose a game, Donna, but twice you get beat by 30. And so I think, in my estimation, I think the women's game took a step back, Donna. And the reason I say this is because all the games were blowouts. Mm-hmm. Because South Carolina beat Texas, I think it was by 17. Connecticut beat UCLA by, it must have been 25, 30 points. And so I think that's a step back for women's basketball because seemed to be where more teams were competitive and reaching the Final Four, and those games were close. But this year, total blowouts. Connecticut just dominated. So I think the women's game, I think it was a step back.
But, I think we had more viewers than ever before. I'm just judging it from the emails I'm receiving, and people are just really more. My son and daughter-in-law hardly ever watch women's basketball.
Yes.
And they were all on it this year.
Right. I think, there probably was. I haven't seen the numbers now. Probably more viewership, I would say. But as far as the games on the court, I mean, you don't want to see that continue with huge blowouts because you're going to lose a fan base. People won't watch a game if they know the other team expected to win by 25, 30 points.
Mm-hmm. Well, the strategies that are involved there, too, especially when a team plays another team for the second time and they get beat. So were there strategies changed? I mean, you would think the
Yeah,
first time you play them, okay, I got the strategy. I won't get beat the second time.
right. Yeah, maybe you had, and in basketball, we all know if you don't shoot the ball well, more than likely you're going to lose. So you're thinking, well, maybe we didn't shoot well, so we're going to count on shooting a little bit better. But it just seemed that Connecticut, their players dominated South Carolina's players. They just couldn't compete with them. They just, for whatever reason, they were skilled and they scored a lot of points. And when you have a team that scores a lot of points down in basketball, and you can't put the ball in the basket, you might as well go home at halftime. You're not going to win. You put 80-something points on, you've got to keep up offensively because obviously you can't defend. You're not defending them very well. It's 80, 90 points in a game. You're trying to keep it down to 60. You're trying to keep them to 60 and you score 100, let's say. Mm-hmm. But when they're scoring 80, and you better keep up.
Mm-hmm. But overall, I think the women's team's had a good season. Yeah, and again, more viewers, and you should have been in South Carolina this weekend.
Whew, man. Yeah, I bet they're really excited to watch their team, but I think it was a huge disappointment for them because you were playing in the Southeastern Conference. You win the conference. They played Texas, I think, 4 times during the season. Texas beat them once in Austin, but you win that conference, and you're supposed to represent. Yeah, lose a game, sure. We all know that the ball doesn't go into the basket every night, every game for you successfully at a high percentage, but lose by 30 points. I believe that Dawn Staley is going to hold this one for a long time and think that something, maybe I could have been better, or strategy or coaching or skill development because they didn't. You got to score 80 points. That UConn scores a lot of points.
But you can use those disappointments and actually learn from those and grow. So who knows what they could be a powerhouse next year.
Right. And you have to retain your players now. Don, as we know, it's year to year. You see players. I think I saw a player from Vanderbilt transfer to Tennessee already in the men's basketball.
I can't believe that.
And then I saw a woman transfer from Notre Dame to play for TCU, and that's the team that beat them in the tournament. So she's playing for the team that beat them. So it's professional sports now because one minute you're playing against the team as a rival, the next minute you're on the rival.
I don't know. I may sound old-fashioned, but I kind of like the olden days where you were just with a team, do or die. That's what happened when the free agency arrived in professional sports. One minute you're watching your favorite player, and now he's playing for the rival team. So that has been settled, and you're going to see that from now on moving forward. There are going to be 4 teams that I think won't go for that as much, and I think that's going to be Alabama, Auburn, Clemson, and South Carolina. Because I'm just telling you, their fan base would have a fit.
Right, but like I said, the fella from Vanderbilt, he's on Tennessee now, so they don't worry about the fans. They're worried about their individual situations with their family. But like I said, I think I would say, like you've done, in the next 5 years, I think very few will transfer between Alabama and Auburn and South Carolina and Clemson. I think you're right.
Yeah, because the fans would just go beat the heck out of them. That's the way we are.
Right. It wouldn't be a fun experience for them now.
Okay, men's basketball. Who was the coach of the year in your mind?
Yeah, Bruce Pearl received it in some places, but Todd Golden, that's pretty special what he did at Florida to win that title. He's been there not very long, 2-3 years, whatever it is. So to win a championship and it's under 40, I think that's pretty remarkable what he did at Florida. They had an excellent team. They had some wins down. They beat Auburn twice. Okay, Auburn was ranked number 1. They beat Auburn regular season at Auburn, and they beat him in the Final Four. They beat Alabama at Alabama. They had some great wins. They won that SEC tournament. So they ended up with 36 wins, I believe. 36-4 was their record. So Florida, watching him as a young coach, and he plays a nice brand of basketball. He's probably going to be competitive, very, very competitive, moving forward with Florida.
Mm-hmm. You know what? I just had a thought, and this is actually one of, I think it was Trey sent a message about this, and this is about people switching within teams. Does that not make the competition want to beat you up just a little bit more? And let's just use Alabama and Auburn, for instance. Okay,
Yeah.
so let's just say a player leaves Auburn and goes to Alabama, or the other way around. When they're playing, is there not going to be some kind of heat within the players about that?
I would say it's important to win. I wouldn't use that word, but I would say it's important for them to win because they have that chip on their shoulder. I want to show my former team.
That was it. You named it. It.
Yeah, I want to show my former team that I'm very good, and they miss me.
But then on the other hand, the team you went away from is going to go, we're going to get him.
Yeah, absolutely. It flows both ways. Yeah, the other team.
You know what? Let's look at that. Let's just look at that. That may make it a little more interesting.
Yeah, I think that the former team is thinking, you left us, so we're going to prove to you that you should have stayed and enjoyed success with us instead of venturing over to the rival or another team in our league or just a different team. Yeah, I think that happens on both sides. It's a little more extra special emotion and passion.
But guys, listen to your mama. Don't get yourself in trouble when you do that, okay? About 2 minutes left in this segment. What do you want to tell everybody before we go?
Yeah, we're going to have some spring games happening down on this weekend. So I should be at the Alabama spring game this coming weekend. And that's when I don't know what they're going to do, Donna. It's going to be the normal spring game. They scrimmage, but it might be slightly different because they don't want to get people hurt, but they'll have the captains will have their hands and footprint cemented at any time. So that's always a special occasion for the permanent captains. So I'll be there.
Is everybody on the team pretty much is going to stay on the team, or will there be some moving between now and then?
There'll be always some movement now down in this day and age. There's always going to be some movement because when you have that flexibility, you're looking for the best opportunity. When I say best opportunity, Don, I'm saying primarily, not in every case, but primarily it's money. You're looking for more money, and you're looking for playing time as well. Some players might move for playing time and more money. Maybe the playing time is the priority and the money is secondary, but most of the time, the primary reason for making the move is more name, image, likeness, opportunity to make more money.
Yeah, because some people feel like they're being overlooked.
Yes.
And, that can be a reason too. So,
right. Years ago, that wouldn't creep into your mind really because you'd have to sit out a whole year and transfer, and nobody wants to sit out and because you trained your whole life, and here you are in your prime and you're sitting out watching. That would be a good feeling. But now the flexibility of the system. That's always prevalent in your mind. You're thinking, yeah, I'm playing with this team. I'm happy to be here, but I'm thinking, what if I was over here? What if I was over at this school? What if I was playing for this coach? What if I had try to see if I can get more NIL money? Yeah, that's always in your thought process forever.
But then there's always that thought when you're the player and you feel like you've been overlooked, you go to the other team, you really want to show the one you came from. Yeah, you shouldn't have overlooked me. I mean, we're just all normal human beings who think.
Ultra competitive person. There's always that incentive when you make the move. I have a slight chip on my shoulder. I was undervalued. No one likes to be undervalued.
That's true. AP, we gotta go.
Hey, Donna, thank you so much.
AP as we see it. Do you have anybody planned for this week yet?
We don't have it yet, but we'll have somebody probably talking the cap off the basketball. But check us out, subscribe at AP as we see it, our YouTube channels and our social media platforms. Thank you so much, Donna.
AP as we see it. Thank you guys so much for watching as well. You're a big part of the reason we do what we do. We'll see you next time. Bye-bye.